Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today, the one and only Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Hello. How are you today?
I am just fabulous. Today we're talking Love Hotel. Before we get into that, first of all, thanks so much to Jeff Lewis Live for having us on today, earlier this morning. If you missed it, go check that out on SiriusXM or their podcast. We always love going on there, and we haven't had a chance to get on since we started our tour, so it was wonderful to reconnect over there. So thanks again for having us on. Also, speaking of that tour, you can come see us for our final two shows by getting tickets at watchwhatcrappens.com. We are going to Seattle on June 12th, and we're going to be here in LA for the grand finale on June 19th. So please do join us for those spectacular final shows of our 2025 tour. Also, if you go to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens, you get access to things like our bonus episodes. We currently have some really fun bonus episodes up right now about our Texas road trip where Ronnie and I drove from Austin to Dallas about 2 weeks ago, and we had a lot of fun doing that. So check that out. And for the first time ever, we did one of those road trips with a video as well. There's a video component. And if you want to watch a video of that or of any of our shows that we record, you can sign up on the Crappens on Demand level and not just listen to us, but you can also watch us too. So that's at patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. And that's all for that. Now let's dive in to some Love Hotel. Ronnie, what say you?
Love Hotel. Still loving it. Ralph is having the luckiest time of his life. I'm glad Ralph is as confused as I am. I mean, I think Ralph is cute and everything, but they love Ralph. Every lady loves Ralph.
They love him. They love him. I don't know why. I mean, I guess he is handsome, but they really are. They're all about that Ralph. And I guess that maybe he has a confidence and a swagger, and that really goes far. Because if you ask me on paper, I think that like Wale is the hottest guy. You could even make an argument for the guy that Ashley dumps at the top of the episode who talks like 3 times. He's also really hot. But in terms of like confidence, you know, Ralph has more of it than Wale. Wale is sort of passive aggressive and.
But is it confidence or is it just exhaustion? Like I'm getting exhaustion from Ralph. I'm getting like, great. And I think people are taking exhaustion for confidence, which I wish would work for me.
Yeah, it could be that. Also, you know, he ignored Ashley really for the first part of the show. So that could work. She loves a daddy. So there's that too.
Yeah, she does love a daddy.
I don't get it though. I don't.
Yeah, but let's see. Let's jump in. Yeah. So he's as confused as everyone. He's like, so they're all after me. He's like, here I am, dazed, confused. I don't know which end is up. What the hell's going on? I'm exhausted. And Wale is like, what the hell? How am I competing with some 60-year-old tired person?
Yeah. But Wale, also, you're on a dating show, and like he acts surprised that the girl that he's interested in is like talking to other people. Like it's just the way the format works, and you knew that going into it. So they're sitting at the table, and Luan's like, "Good morning, guys. Cabaret star coming through. Wait, where are the women? Did you eat them all alive already for breakfast? Ha ha! That's going in the show."
So she's like, all right, listen, we're not here to argue and fight, right? We're here to find love. So I can't wait to hear what Earl has to say for himself. Earl messed with Shannon. It's like these ladies don't realize no matter who Shannon is with, this is the kind of relationship she's going to have because it's Shannon. Okay. Shannon could be checking out at a Home Goods and they'd be like, oh, hey, did this have a price tag? Did you a price? What do you mean? Is there a price tag? How dare you ask me if is it my job to have a price tag or it's your, did I forget a price tag? Are you calling me stupid?
Well, can you tell me exactly what you said? Did you talk about price tags so I can understand better so I can help? And Earl is like, well, there are moments where she'll look at me and say, do you see a price tag? And I'll say, I don't see a price tag. And she'll say, why don't you look again? Because I have a price tag on here. And I go, and I'm like, I don't see it. And she goes, you don't remember what I told you about the price tag? It's very complicated.
It's pretty funny because Earl's trying to explain how Shannon is to somebody who already knows how Shannon is, but she's a good girlfriend. So she's pretending none of that's happening. So he's like, there's moments where she'll look up at me and just go, you don't remember what I told you? And she's like, well, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? Shannon acting crazy with a man? Never seen it, never heard it. Completely normal blonde lady. And we do see a flashback to something I didn't really think that was that big of a deal. They're walking on the beach and he says, so what's your favorite location you stayed in? She goes, oh, I told you already. Do you not remember me telling you? I mean, that is partly her just checking your cognizance. I mean, this is a golden bachelor. You got to see how much battery is left.
Do you need to run to the store to get some AAAs, So Earl's like, and then yesterday with the vegetable thing, it's so silly. It's just so silly. You know what's the silliest of all? Women with their issues. They're just fun, stupid little trifles. Anyway, I said, I don't like vegetables. And she goes, you don't like vegetables, and then she whipped her head turned around like this, like a monster, like a 3-headed monster, a hydra looking at me, a hydra that just wanted to eat vegetables. And it was horrifying and it triggered me. And Wale's like, well, it wasn't about your voice. It was about your body posture. Did you try to guilt her, say something passive aggressive to her, come on really strong, and then make her feel really bad about her choices for the rest of the evening? Because it kind of works well for me.
It's your body language. Let me teach you. What does this say?
I don't know. You're trying to hail a cab?
I'm a star. That's what he's saying.
A star hailing a cab.
Partially correct. So you're going to have you for that one, Earl. All right. Listen.
You don't take an Uber?
And he goes, well, if you look at the whole gamut of our relationship, we've been together for 37 years. This is just a blip.
All right. It's a blip, but it's a large blip. It's a large blip, darling.
Yeah, it may be a blip, but you've only known her for 4 days. So proportionally, a blip is taking up a large percentage of your time knowing her. So that's not a good thing. So Ashley's walking outside with Jason. Jason's his name. And she's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Last night was a little shocking for me. And he's like, well, I'll be honest. I felt like I was just being open and transparent with you about who I am and my past and where I've come from. Yeah, and I respect you honestly, immensely. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, of course. No, it was my pleasure.
So we didn't see that. We didn't see what they're talking about. So we get a flashback now. And he's like, oh, you know what's funny? I was in a throuple. He's like, you know what's funny? I was in a throuple. And she's like, oh my God. Wait, your girl had a girlfriend? He goes, yeah, actually, that's how I met him. They came to me. And she's like, oh, wait a minute. How long were you in that relationship? I'm Ashley Darby. Other people having thruples? Oh, no. Oh, please.
I was in it for 8 months, actually, I think. But since it's a thruple, it's really just like 4.5 months because you add extra time to it, right? Or do you write it at the time?
First of all, just getting back to what you said about how we didn't see that, I have to say, I want to give a shout out to the editing on this show. I think it's actually really amazing because they kind of are cutting out a lot of the stuff we don't need to see. We sometimes on these dating shows, they give us endless scenes of courting or whatever. And there's part of me that really wants to see some of these conversations, but I'm also really appreciative that they just kind of breeze through a lot of it. Later in the episode, especially, we sort of just see a whole day pass and we see brief snippets of conversation and then some kissing and we can kind of fill in the gaps. And I kind of think it's pretty great. So shout out post-production team on The Love Hotel.
Shout out post-prod.
Shout out Final Cut Pro. Shout out AppMotion. Shout out USC Film School for teaching skills.
Shout out Microsoft Paint.
Shout out Not Gail because my voice slowly turned into Padma.
So Ashley's like, oh no, a throuple. Well, I think it takes a certain kind of personality to be in a relationship that way. And by that, I mean, whore, you're a whore. And he's like, well, I made it clear that that's not the direction I'm going in. So, trouble over. And she's like, but I'm not judging you. It's just that in my previous relationship, we were in a sort of similar situation, occasionally allowing other partners into our relationship. And, it's really difficult when you're trying to fight with two people about kangaroo meat possibly not being profitable in a business. So
he's like,
yeah, but one thing I would like you to consider is the fact that you're in a throuple with an old skeevy man and I'm a young hot man. And it's like a young hot throuple is a very different experience. So I think you should be open to it.
It's not two women trying to make a man's penis work. It's two women getting to play with a working penis.
That's how he needs to sell it, you know?
That's what he has to be like, look, it's you like saying you're never going to drive a sedan again because you drove a Yugo, you know, like give it a try. Try out a Subaru.
I mean, in the situation you were in, there were two women being grossed out by Michael. And in this situation, there's two women not being grossed out. So, you know, give it a chance. It's a different road.
Yeah. This is a much hotter throuple upside, you know? So
God knows who they even got to fuck Michael. I mean, my God, like who was that in the throuple? You know, those were some hideous thruples. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a lot of sadness in that. There was a lot of generational trauma that like culminated in that throuple. Whereas with this guy, it's just hot people banging. So I don't know. Be open to it, Ashley.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure. Did he say it was two women, or did he say like maybe it was?
He said it was. I think he said it was two women. He said that they approached him, right?
Yeah. But did he say women?
You know, he may not have said that exactly. If it was a husband and wife, that's wow. That's very interesting. Hot, I would say.
Well, some people do that. Yeah, you know, there's some swinging, but you know, it's a different allowance in a relationship, right? For Ashley.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure. So she's like, that triggers me. Listen, you having thruples triggered me too, because it meant somebody else was subjected to Michael. So we're all triggered.
I know.
Okay. You don't get off on this.
You know what's triggering? Michael Darby. Okay. And she's like,
I feel like a hypocrite, but like, what else can I say? I feel like, you know, I could be something that Jason could do again, and I just don't really want to risk that as a part of it anymore.
Oh, please. So Ashley's like,
yeah, it's a real sensitive thing. It's a trigger.
He's like, well, you know, you and these church taps, I mean, you're going to tap me to the wayside. And she's like,
I don't really get that, but it's not church.
Yeah, because she just gives him like a little kind of hug shoulder tap instead of a real hug. Right. She just taps him.
That's what it is.
So then we go to Shannon's, and she's very much still in her I like boats, I'm dressed like a sailor phase.
Yes.
And so
some
someone
John
comes
Jansen
over.
residue.
Say it again.
Some John Jansen residue.
Yeah. Well, she had that before John, right? Where she's like, oh, look, I live in a house that's a farmhouse sailboat. That is the...
You're right.
Shiplap. I'm bringing the ship back to Shiplap.
That's the decor. Am I turning a boat or turning on the kitchen sink? Who knows?
I want a house that has shiplap, but also feels like a ship that I can run laps in.
So Earl comes, he's like, hey, how are you? Can I give you a hug? And she's like, well, I mean, this is a very carb-heavy, meat-heavy hug. It would have been a lighter hug with a little romaine in your system. Sure.
He's like, well, thanks for seeing me. You know, I know you had a horrible day, and yesterday I made it worse, and I am so sorry. She's, well, I just don't understand why you got so angry at me. That's all. I mean, all I did was bulge my eyes at you and scream, you don't eat vegetables? Oh my God, what sort of monster are you? And I don't understand why that elicited such a negative response from you.
I love that Shannon never understands what she's doing. She's like,
why were you so mad? What could I have done?
and he's like, honey, I'm used to handling conflict with someone I care about privately, and I just got hypersensitive and embarrassed because, you know, one minute you're smiling at me and the next minute you're blinking your eyes and repeating small words over and over again, and it kind of confused me. You're like you're a verbal strobe light. Does that make any sense? I don't understand.
Who? What?
So he's like, you said you don't remember where I told you I went on vacation?
Well, Earl, I was teasing you. I thought you could tell that by the way I didn't laugh or smile while I did it.
Oh, man, let me tell you. You know what's a trigger for me? I learned that from the kid on the beach. Triggered. But I'm triggered. Let me tell you. Funniness. Okay, humor, teasing. Okay, now you don't know this about me, but I had a really bad childhood, so I don't like loud voices. I just and vegetables. One time, a Brussels sprout yelled at me, so I can't be around vegetables or loudness.
Well, I mean, but when other people at the table are talking about it, Earl.
And we see a flashback to their fight, and Phil and Giselle are noticing, and Phil's like, well, we might have to go do some refereeing over there to my left. And Giselle's like, yes, sir.
I don't want to make a scene of it or anything.
Oh, I'm going to make a scene. Nah. So Shannon's like,
Well, it bummed me out, and I didn't want to get everybody involved, which is why I very quietly said, "This man over here doesn't eat vegetables. Why is he on this television show? Could someone get that concierge?"
I didn't want to get anyone involved except the manager, which is why I called that very wonderful man who never delivered my artichoke dip over, and I said, please have this man removed. He's abusive.
Shannon, your flashback is just a little too loud for me, and I'm having some hard time with some trauma. Okay, quiet voices only, please.
Well, yeah, that really bummed me out, and I don't like how emotional I got. It really bummed me out getting so emotional. So, I hope you can understand. I really beat myself up.
Earl, if you'd like to say something like you did not get emotional, that'd be nice. No, you don't want to say that? Okay, that's fine. Well, I just feel like...
I already said triggered. I don't know what else I could say. I mean, triggered. I was triggered.
You're a lady strobe light, and that's very difficult for me.
Oh, you want to hear strobe light? Let's hear a flashback to me in 10 years ago.
Do you understand that those people are, that guy is, this husband is, they're being horrible to me.
All right, they are. Let's calm down.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
All right, so now everyone's gathering in the main lounge, and Joel's here. He's like, all right, buenos dias, everybody.
Listen, I got 5 more minutes before I get onto a FaceTime with Bo and Yang, and we talk shit about you two. So come on, let's get this going.
So look at Ashley, straight out of an aerobics music video from the 80s. I was like, no, that's not, she's in beige. She's in like a tasteful beige, sir. You don't know 80s aerobics until you've seen Rhonda Karam leading a group at a Civic Center aerobics concert in fuchsia.
Okay, folks. So I guess how was your romantic date under the stars?
Oh, well, I don't know really why the line chef at the hotel restaurant is asking me these questions, but I guess, it's nice to have someone else. So I'll just say it wasn't the best. It was emotional for me.
Yeah. Oh, yes, there's a little elephant in the room called Earl the Pearl. They had a moment last night that didn't sit well with me. Earl, I need to let you know that last night I was very much like Earl needs to go. It's not my place because I didn't give you a key, but I don't ever want to be on a rooftop looking across the way and seeing my girlfriend crying. Well, good luck with that. You're standing next to Shannon Bedore. She'll be crying a lot. That's a fair point.
Listen, Earl, the only people I want to make my girlfriends cry is me. That's my job. When I see a woman sitting across from me sobbing and begging for pity, it's because I caused her pain. Do you understand? He's like, sorry, I was triggered. Someone tried to make me laugh. I'll tell you, I still go to therapy over King of Queens. It really killed me.
Leia remedy. More like I need a Leia remedy.
So he's...
So wait a minute, were you just teasing Leah Remini?
All right, got me there.
You know what? I have a hard time talking about Leah Remini because she looks a lot like that slut on the beach with David Bedore.
So Giselle's like, look, I pray that everyone gets the memo that that's unacceptable, the way you talk to Shannon. And Louis goes, and that's where we draw the line. Although then like 5 seconds later, she's like, and that's why Earl needs to stay. I was like, wait, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I was just saying things that sounded good.
No one better make Shannon cry. I'm stealing Shannon's man in the next segment.
Joel's like, Earl, where are you at? Well, it was a really big growth moment for me.
You know what else grows? Vegetables.
Okay, well, when it happened, I wanted to run. Well, and for all of us ladies, there have been moments where we wanted to run too. And guess what? We stayed. We followed through. And we kicked you guys out. We made you guys run instead. And you know what? It shows how much courage it is for you to stay. So we draw the line at you making Shannon cry, but wow, how courageous for you to make Shannon cry. Good job, Earl.
Hey, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Hey, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? That's right. Nina Simone. Not a runner. Not a runner.
Run away, run away, run away and save your life. Run away, run away, run away, save your life. That's right. Generic dance song from the 90s. You're welcome.
Run to your mamas and run to your daddies. Run to your sisters and run. Line. I'm sorry, Florence and the Machine always gets me. All right, carry on with the show.
Joel's like, well, I think it speaks volumes that you were able to have this conflict. But now that you're sitting here next to each other on the couch, that's amazing that you were able to sit where we told you to sit. Now, on to the business of the day. When we're dating, sometimes you can meet a guy that doesn't seem like he's for you at all, but ends up being the perfect can we just get to what they have to do for the day? I don't have all time here. Okay?
Hold on. I have a Bravo joke. Guys, at the end of the day,
You got nothing for nothing.
like a She by Sheree show, it just never happens. Really? A She by Sheree joke? How dare you? And She by Sheree has happened.
That was a funny. That was a. The line cook made a very funny joke. Earl, could you please explain that joke to me? I didn't get. What is She by Sheree?
So today you'll be taking an excursion away from this beautiful place. Luann, who are you want to take on your date? She's like,
Well, James made me laugh. I like him. James, do you want to go on a date with me, big boy?
Would I would love to go on a date with you, girl. All right, come on, let's do it.
Come on. Yeah, we're going on a date. I
love
my life.
I love my life too. Yeah.
This
So the
guy
action-
is a total dork. Who looks at who talks to James for 5 minutes and is like that? I'm fucking that guy on camera. That's who I'm gonna fuck.
Luann and James, they're like a weird couple. I feel like you'd meet in Key West or something, right? Yeah, you want to come back to our place and sing some songs? He'll get on guitar, I'll get on the mic, and you can play the bongos if you know what I mean. And by bongos, I mean my boobs.
Play me, James. Play me, Daddy.
So Ashley chooses Wale because she's already had time with Jason, and Jason's a whore, so she's choosing Wale. And she's like, yeah, I'm into Jason, but great guy, just not really for me, you know. And Ralph and Giselle are vibing, so I guess I'm going to take Wale again. I like that poor Wale and Earl are just the backup choice.
I know. And so she's just gonna see if she can get back to that good place with the super hot guy that she's just brushing off to the side. So Giselle's like, well, I was told that the date required tennis shoes, and I didn't know if Mr. Phil had any because he's so well dressed all the time. So Phil, will you go on a date with me?
I would be ecstatic to go on a date with you. I'd love to go on a date with you. You didn't answer about the sneakers. I'd love to go on an ecstatic date with you. Is it in Bel Air? I love Bel Air. We could walk there. We'll go out onto my deck.
I don't actually have sneakers, but what I do have are 2 custom Rolls Royces that are the size of my feet that I put my feet into.
She's like, I had such a good conversation with Phil last night. I felt him relax when I asked him about his money and his crypto investments. Giselle needs nothing but money. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
We see a clip to her going, so I know this is what you would normally do, a 10-course dinner. And he's like, oh, never kicked a Michelin star dinner out of bed. I love a Michelin star now and then, especially one in Bel Air.
Say less. So she wants to know more about him. And AKA, she's like, wow, I could really bag a really rich guy. She's basically seeing if he seems like a crook or not. Like, is this money real or are you a con man? So Joel's like, all right, last but certainly not least, but probably most boring. Hey, Shannon, would you like to take out, who do you want to take on this date?
She's like, well, I have not gone on one date with anyone other than Earl. Thanks a lot, Earl. So, Adam, would you like to go on an excursion today? We could talk about USC and things like that.
He's like, I would love to.
Great. Adam is very worldly. He lives close to me, but he's not in Orange County, and I think that makes him very worldly. He actually has to take the 110 freeway places.
I've only been on dates with Earl, so I choose roughage. Give me the boring guy who lives kind of far away. So Joel leaves, and Shannon turns to Earl. She's like, "Are you okay, Earl? Are you okay?" He's like, "I mean, yeah, I'm fine. You go have a good time." "Okay, well, you have a good time too. Possibly with my good friend Asparagus, who I'm sending to your room later."
I'm sure you'll have a great time just chewing your way through all the barbacoa here on the beach.
So Earl's like, well, I want her to be happy, and she deserves to be happy, but I wish it was me that was going on the date with her.
Smell you later, Earl.
So now they go to Wild Canyon Park in Los Cabos. So Joel's like, if you're going to go on a date with a housewife, you're going to have to strap in and deal with a lot of rough terrain, which is why I've scheduled a series of adventure dates at Wild Canyon. Are we wrapped here? We done? No?
Are we done here? So yeah, they go to this canyon place, and Luann's gonna zip line, I think. She's like, "Oh yeah, look at that, a zip line. I zip lined through the jungle in Tulum. It was amazing. I'm a world traveler, a world traveling countess. You know who else has done that, Princess Kate? That's my girl. That's my girl."
Now, technically, I didn't actually zip line, and technically it wasn't Tulum. Turns out I flipped my car in Gstaad and had a crazy hallucination, and my life flashed before my eyes, and I also saw my speculative life, which was ziplining in Tulum, but it didn't actually happen. Anyway, the point of the story is they saved me, and I went back to America. Okay, let's get on the zip line.
You don't like ziplining in Tulum stories, huh? All right, well, I unziplined Josh Groban at a Lakers game once. That count?
Oh, yeah, he lifted me up all right. So
now Giselle and Phil are going to do like a four-wheeler thing over a bridge. And Giselle's like, "Do you like four-wheelers?" And it's like, "Nice.
Love four-wheelers. I'll do it. I'm into it. Let's do it. I'm excited by the idea of it."
We'll have a splendid drive over this canyon.
So then Ashley and Wale, they're going to a big swing, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want a bungee jump. I don't want a bungee jump." And they're basically telling her, like, "Don't worry, it's not a bungee jump. It's just a swing," which is hilarious because it's a bungee jump, essentially.
It's a bungee jump on a swing. But I think it's hilarious that the scene after Ashley's like, "I don't want to be a swinger." They're like, "We're going to make Ashley be a swinger right now."
So Shannon,
You know how many slings I've been in this marriage? I'm triggered.
Shannon and Adam arrive at their excursion, which is a camel ride. And Shannon's like,
A camel? Well, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like things that have extra humps like David did in our marriage.
Although it will be nice to bond with it, it's the only animal that retains as much water as I do.
It's just what age does to you.
So Luann's like, "Well, I'll tell you how to ride a camel. Hold on for dear life. Kind of like you're tumbling over the side of a cliff in Gstaad." So then we see, of course, the classic video of Luann thrashing about on the back of a camel. Still funny all these years later.
They're good. And the guide's like, "Okay, Shannon, this is your camel. His name is Alf." And she's like,
"Oh, well, how tall is Alf?"
and it goes 2 meters. And she goes,
"Yeah, I don't know what that is."
I feel a little bit triggered because I feel like you're trying to taunt me right now. And I told you I only speak in imperial, not metric. I told you that.
So Giselle in the ATV with Phil. He's like,
I live in this type of environment. I have a place in Paradise Valley and Bel Air. It's just like this. Four-wheeling through the hills. Oh, look, it's Vanna White. You still look great, Vanna.
I have the only ATV bridge in Bel Air that goes directly from a mansion to a Gelson's. Take it every day.
He's literally hilarious.
Also,
driving an ATV over a bridge and just like,
it's just like where I live, Bel Air.
I'm like, it's nothing like that. Also, why do you keep mentioning that you have a place in Paradise Valley and Bel Air? We get it. It's been like 4 episodes now.
By the way, I have a place in Paradise Valley and Bel Air.
But but it's working for him, I have to say.
So they drive across it, and Giselle's like, I'm enjoying spending time with Phil. I want to see if Phil is just one note or if he has different dimensions to him. How rich is he? How many bank notes does he have? Just one or multiple?
Phil has many, many notes. So then we go to Ashley and Wale in a cable car, and they do the swinging thing. And then down at the Camels, Adam offers Shannon the opportunity to go in front. But she's like, maybe I better go in the back.
So they're trotting along, and meanwhile, Luann and James are doing their zip line. These two are so weird together, but like it works in a strange way because she's like, James, I'm trusting you with my life. I'm here, girl. Don't you worry.
I love my life.
I love my life.
So Adam and Shannon are making small talk, and she's been coming to Cabo forever, guys. And he's like, yeah, I came down here when I was in film school. Actually, Adam's not very charismatic, I'm just going to say. I don't know if it's the Botox or what it is about Adam, but he's not very interesting. But Shannon's pretending he is to get back at Earl. So she's like, oh, really? Oh, wow, film school. Oh, so do you press record on the camera? How does that work? Good for you.
And he's like, and yeah, I also have a tech startup, and we're about to launch a big telehealth platform in Cameroon.
Wow, great cookies. I love coconut.
Cameroon, I love that you went to film school and you have something in Cameroon, because I remember when I went and saw Sense and Sensibility, I did eat those cookies there, and it was a great combination of experiences. So that's amazing. Wow, nothing is more fun on the back of a camel than hearing about a telehealth platform in Cameroon. Well, I am enthralled.
I'm predicting tax problems with Adam. He's running from something. A telehealth platform in Cameroon? What's going on with you, sir? That sounds fishy.
It's not necessarily fishy, but it's I went to film school and now I'm launching a telehealth platform in Cameroon. That's where that's a weird disconnect for me there.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I don't trust Kirk Cameroon. Like bred all his fans, and then look what happened to him. Went nuts. Went over the top.
Right. But the first lady of Cameroon, if she still is the first lady, she is great. I love her. She's a big diva.
Really? How do you know?
Yeah, let me look her up.
You're a big First Lady of Cameroon fan? I love that for you.
Look, I'm telling you, please look her up. She is amazing. Her name is Chantal Bia. Just look up Cameroon First Lady. She should be a real housewife. Like this lady, I mean, the hair is, we need hair like this on Bravo at all times.
Yes. I love it. How do you know who she is? I'm a stan.
Her look is, I don't know where it came onto my radar, but her look is so legendary that like, it got onto my radar somehow. I mean, all her looks are just fantastic. She's fabulous.
Yeah, insanely big hair and insanely big bows as well. I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. First Lady of Cameroon.
Amazing looks at all times. I think maybe it was an Olympics or something, or some diplomatic thing. She came to LA and I was like, oh my God, I stan her. Icon mother.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's good looking. I can see why someone would want to open a telehealth portal there.
Seeing her really inspires telehealth portals.
People in Cameroon don't want to go out on the streets in case the First Lady's out there. So they're just like, you know what? I'll stick with telehealth today. First Lady might be out there looking for a beau or something.
So Ashley and Wale, they jump, and he wants to scream, but he also needs to keep his cool because he's on a date with Ashley and he knows he's losing her to Ralph. So you can see him like doing this like repressed scream, which I thought was funny. And then they're just like hanging there, and then they start to make out, which is, I guess they almost died. So why not make out?
Yeah. So then back at the hotel, the guys who weren't asked out are sitting around, and Earl's like, wow, this is the first time I hadn't been on a date, so it feels kind of weird all day after they left. I didn't get picked, so just been eating this beef jerky salad. Hey, you eating lettuce, Earl? No, it's just beef jerky in a bowl.
I just call it beef. I call it beef lettuce. Just lettuce that's been smashed out of the shape of romaine. So Jay is like, well, I haven't been on a date either. And Ray's like, yeah. And Ralph is like, yeah, you're complaining. Oh, I missed one, whatever. Ralph's like, I haven't been on a date either. And Jay's like, yeah, Ralph, does it gnaw at you that you haven't been on a date yet? He's like, no, not at all. I'm totally chill. I'm a chill guy. Totally chill.
Yeah. So then, let's see. Everybody's trying to pretend they're okay, but they have to sit there with each other all day. And so that's not very fun. So then Adam and Adnan. No, that's not a good couple's name because that's the guy from Serial. Shannon. Yeah, that's a cute couple name.
Shannon.
So Shannon,
Hi, you've reached Shannon. How can I help your health today over the telephone?
Hi, you've reached the Shannon Bedore telehealth platform. This is where you get to tell me about your health. Telehealth.
So Shannon's
Okay, you've got a runny nose, a fever, and a cough. Have you tried having your husband stick his finger up your butt to see if there is psychological debris lodged up there? Okay, that's what I suggest.
If you have done that, what do you eat vegetables? Do you know what vegetables are? Okay, well, there's the problem. You don't eat vegetables.
Call Earl. Call this number. Ask for Earl. Tell him to eat vegetables and hang up. You'll feel better in the morning.
Oh, well, look at the heavy pour that you're pouring me, Adam. Oh, that camel ride. Oh, so last night when we sat down at the table, so I noticed 3 people put their napkins on their lap, and it was you, Luann, and I. No one else did. No one else knew what to do with the napkin. I mean, Ralph put it on his head, which I thought was strange. He said he was protecting himself from falling vegetables. I didn't understand it. I thought he was joking at first.
Well, if I were to write down the similarities that I have with Adam and the similarities that I have with Earl, I would say neither one of them really looks me in the eye the amount that I would like. They're both always sort of looking for exit signs. But Adam does live closer, so I choose vegetable eating distance.
I did think it was weird when Phil put the napkin into his neck like a cravat and said, I have a place in Bel Air and Paradise Valley. I thought that has nothing to do with the napkin, but whatever. I guess it works for him.
and Adam's like, God, it's so good to hang out with you, Shannon. I mean, there's no drama. We're just so chill.
Well, baby steps.
Just easy. Here lies Shannon Bedore, killed by a man who put a napkin in his lap last night, but then didn't put one on to have cocktails right now, I'd like to add.
We haven't had that conversation, have we? Did I skip it? That shit was funny.
I think it was all wrapped up in here. I think
it was so funny when she's like,
well, Adam, I noticed that 3 people had their napkins on their lap at dinner last night, and it was me, you, and Luann. No one else! Not that you're wearing one right now. Okay, I'll forget that.
Consistency. Consistency is what I'm looking for. So are you a napkin on the lap person or not? I need to know these things.
no.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So then we go to James and Luann. He's like,
What are you looking for, babe? You looking for music in your life? You're looking for 24-hour happiness? You came to the right taco stand. Happy Tacos sold here.
Well, I'll tell you what I want. Someone who's kind, someone who gets along with Tommy Tune, and top of my list, somebody who has a big pee-pee. He's like, what? Wait, does it feel like I'm kind? Do you feel like I'm not kind? No, well, let's fast forward over the kind thing and get right to the pee-pee, okay? You understand what I meant by pee-pee?
Well, I've been a big supporter of Planned Parenthood, if that's what we're going for, honey.
How about planned fuckerhood? How about that? Because I'm planning to do that soon.
You know what I mean when I say pee-pee? Private plane. No, I'm joking. You don't need one of those. I can ride your big dick anywhere I need to go.
Especially if it's as big as a private plane. He said, well, here's an honest story. This is true. My father and I were in Italy, and my father comes out of the restaurant and he's like, you're not going to believe what the guy next to me said in the stall. He said, hey, you got the arm of the baby. Wow. Your father ripped an arm off of a baby? That's horrifying, but kind of hot.
I did it once when a baby cried while I was trying to sing a song from Salome, the musical. So I get it.
No, I meant his dick. He's got a huge dick. Me and my dad both got huge dicks. We've sword fighted before.
Wow. All right. Well, did he by any chance write his name on the bathroom wall and that bathroom in Italy? And where's that bathroom? Send me to it.
Did your father ever tell a story about sitting next to a very attractive lady on a flight to Italy and how he gave her crabs from his hairy arms? No? Okay, just trying to track that guy down. Remember that story?
That's a real cold case.
But kind of hot at the same time, if you know what I'm saying.
I do not remember that story.
There was that one off they did of like, it was like behind the music, but for like before they were housewives. And Luann was like, well, I flew on a flight to Italy and the man next to me had very hairy arms and I got crabs. She said that she got crabs from a man with hairy arms next to her. If I remember correctly, I could be bastardizing it. I just always remember that story, how she sat next to a hairy armed guy and got crabs from him. So I need to go back and watch that. Why did they make more episodes?
It happens. So James has got a huge one, just like his dad, which everyone wants to hear. You know, yeah, me and my dad sporting. And she's like, me and the ladies love when a man has a big PPA.
Well, maybe it's something you should explore and find out for yourself. I was like, wow, he's like, normally most people would be like, ooh, that's kind of skeevy. And then she's like, yes, sir. I was like, these two, I don't get it. Like everything he says, I think is so gross. She's like, absolutely, come to mama.
She's like, I'm in.
So he's like, it probably sounds biased, but I need to be with someone who has children and loves their children. That's very important to me. I mean, look how much my dad loves me. We actually had marks on the front door or on the pantry door where we'd measure how much our penises would grow against each other.
Well, I don't have that experience, but I would love to see that door. That being said, I do have 2 children. We used to do Taco Tuesday, and I got my younger son, Noel, a breakdancing instructor, which showed that I did love him. And my daughter, Victoria, she does things, so we're happy about that.
Well, I've got 2 children, and I showed my love by trying to sell the house their father was giving them, and they sued me. So that was fun. We're very close. We all pay lawyers together. So that's been fun.
Well, and we did have a roundhouse that we enjoyed at one point where we would just accuse each other of things, go round and round and round in the roundhouse.
So now we go to Giselle and Phil. And he's like, I had so much fun. What a blast. What a blast.
Yes, as I told you, my kids are gone, so I'm an empty nester now, and so you have a son and my eldest daughter. They're the same age, right? Question, did it take you 4 years to say goodbye to your son as they went to college?
Well, it still feels like an empty nester, even though I live with my son, because he's never home. In Bel Air. He'll be on a date somewhere that's not Bel Air, and I'll text him and I'll say, Bel Air calling, Bel Air calling. He doesn't call me back. It's pretty lonely.
When you're the president of Bel Air, it's hard to keep track of your son because your estate takes over the entire hillside. So yes, we're in the same house, but are we even in the same house? I ask you that. Bel Air!
One of the reasons I've been single for so long is because I've been raising my son. He's 29 now, still raising him.
So she's like, oh, so your priorities are him. We have that in common.
Only in Bel Air, not in Paradise Valley, though. I don't care about him there.
So then Ashley and Wale are hanging out, and he's like, Ashley loved the date, and they needed time together. And Wale's like, yeah, we got 6 hours. And she goes, well, yeah, we needed more time to figure out things, It's just, there's so many men that come on that seem better than you, but then they're not. So I come back to you, and, well, I'm still looking at that door waiting for a better one. So this has been great.
And he's like, yeah, look, I never had an issue with you dating other people, if that's what the experience is, All I'm just saying is, although you're dating other people, don't forget about me. And she goes, well, I feel like I didn't forget about you. And he goes, well, I feel like you did. I was like, you were doing well there, Wale, but when he said, I feel like you did, he just needs to say, cool, that's great. I was just being chill. I was like, hey, I'm still here. I still want to get to know you. That's all he has to say. But he's like,
quiet down,
you did
Wale.
Forget about me.
Quiet down
you did
over
forget
there.
about me.
Yeah,
don't tell her Don't tell her what she feels and what she knows.
Yeah, and she's like, well, I haven't kissed anyone else here, right? Like, no one's gotten close to me physically or emotionally. And so he kisses her again, and he's holding something behind his back, and he's got her a present.
She's going to have a whole collection at this point. And he hands her a letter. She reads it.
I recognize you keep choosing me, and I just want you to know I'm choosing you too, even when you choose other people over me, which is probably right now because I have time to write this letter. You stupid, stupid hooker. Love, Wale.
Aw, that was so sweet of you. You know, since Wale and I started the process, it's been the two of us, and like we've had eyes locked on, and like things have like sort of shaken our connection a little bit. But like when you have a partner engage you and like make you feel special, that is a huge turn on for me. But you know what's also another huge turn on? Someone who's 65.
So she's
His
like,
eyes aren't watering and unfocusing themselves, and he doesn't really have any age spots yet, so I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to stare at during dinner.
I want someone who's gonna objectify me and talk down to me. So, you know, even though he's super hot and he's got a great smile and, you know, seems to be into me, I'm gonna go for the old guy.
So now the women get together to huddle and talk about the men. And Luann's like, oh, James gave me a piggy ride to the zip line. It's on his dick. Huge one. Big as a golf cart.
he carried me on his back. And Giselle, I can't believe Giselle's like, I am going to step into the world of Roni. She goes, he didn't buckle with the weight. That was such a Ramona. And Luann goes, I said, darling, you know, I'm tall, but I've got small wrists and ankles and things. And so while I may appear to be tall and heavier than the average country bear, I lose a lot of that mass through my wrists. I've got tiny, tiny wrists. They're basically made of feathers. So, I'm pretty much as heavy as, a fleck of sand at this point. Well, am I spiraling? Perhaps.
Listen, maybe I'm tall, but I've got one thing other women don't. And that's a set of teeth behind my regular set of teeth facing backwards.
And they are actually, they are as light as styrofoam. So no added mass there. So no buckling when you have the countess on your back. Don't worry, everyone. Small wrists and ankles.
Well, they gave me fanny flutters.
And they're like, oh my God, fanny flutters. So then Shannon's like,
Well, did you fill his package? What was that like? She's like, no. Well, you should have brushed along it. Just brushed along it. I brushed along Adams, and he started talking about telehealth in Cameroon, so.
Wow, Shannon, I never would peg you as someone who would brush someone's dick. Oh, definitely not a dick. I meant like, did he receive any mail and were there toxins inside it and perhaps a box of vegetables? Does he have a CSA box? Because Earl doesn't.
Does he have a package, and did he scan it with blue light before opening it to make sure that there were no germs?
That's all I'm saying. Never know.
well, when you're with him, did you think about Earl in any way?
Well, a couple of times I did because I felt bad. I just felt terrible. I mean, there's a comfort to Earl. You know, it's just a big warm blanket as a person. I think, why has nobody folded up that blanket? Why is that blanket thrown over a traffic cone? Nobody's done anything with it. Then the blanket starts crying. There's a crying blanket.
I did, on that date, I did think about Earl, and I thought, wow, if I break my neck and die on this camel, the last person I would have kissed was Earl the Pearl, and that was sad for me.
All right, does Adam have a dick like a racehorse or what?
How would I know?
How about his dad?
How dare you?
Luann, I can't help but please stop waving your wrists in front of my face.
I just want to show everyone I've got very small wrists and ankles. Okay, I would never make a man buckle under my weight. Ever.
So we see Giselle and Phil on their date playing around on their four-wheeler. And she says, so you have one of these in your garage? And he's like, well, I have a double R. That's a Rolls Royce, for those of you who don't know what it is. Rolls Royce Bel Air Rolls Royce.
Earl the Pearl's like, well, I've got an HE, a Hyundai Elantra. So get ready, ladies.
Well, I've got an HB, heartburn.
I actually did once write to Chevrolet, and I said, Dear Chevrolet, have you considered labeling your next vehicle the Chevy Heartburn? I never received anything back, but I think it's because the idea was too good, and they didn't want to give it to me.
So Ashley's like, how do you think Ralph's going to feel that you didn't ask him out on a date? And Basically, Ralph earlier was like, I'm glad I'm not going on a date. I'm trying not to die over here, okay? Wah. So maybe he's just in his feels because he didn't get picked.
So Ash is like,
Okay, let's go down and have a nightcap.
and Shannon's like,
Oh, well, I feel I actually do not put on headwear at night because it keeps toxins in that need to be released from the scalp.
How about a sleep guard? Can we go down and have a sleep guard?
I do grind my teeth at night, so shall we just all go down and get ourselves fitted for a new night guard? No?
Night guard, you're correct. I'm sorry. Sleep guard.
Well, I have a sleep guard too, which is it's a mask I put on my face to prevent myself from inhaling any spiders during my sleep.
I actually put a sleep guard on my face so I don't fall asleep, so I could just lay there counting sheep all night long.
It's important to know how many sheep there actually are. We don't want to have too much wool in our air because it can really get your sinuses going.
Hello there. This is a 2-part recap, okay? This is the end of part 1. So thank you so much for listening to this. Just come back a little later for part 2.
Watch what Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
it's always a party on Allison Block.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster.
She can run my country. It's Angie McGovern.
It's always automatic with Ashley Auto. Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offit.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Etchels.
We never miss her call. It's Diane Call.
Aaron McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones.
I go, you go, we all go for Hugo.
Jamie. She has no last namey.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B.
Bringing the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
She gets an A from us. It's Lindsay D.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry. We love her on the rocks. It's Melissa Cox.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson. Tastier than Flanderson, it's Rachel Manderson.
She sure is swell. It's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman.
Let's share with Sharon Eldridge.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
She's VVIP, it's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's go into the woods with Guy Tubbs.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
It's our queen, it's Queen Laifa.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Hail the Cork Master, the Master of the Cork, Jennifer Corcoran. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
She gets an A, it's Kelly B.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron.
She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy.
Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
She eases our woes, it's Melissa St. Rose.
We're on the floor with Molly Dorset. There's a chance of meatballs, it's Rebecca Cloud.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
It's always a good time when you're wasting time with Bravo.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.